Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with Father Brett. I hope you have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. I'm with Father Malusi this morning. I thought it would be good for us to get to know him a little bit more. And one thing I can tell you, he doesn't really drink coffee. Can you believe it? How does he survive? So anyway, he's got tea and I've got coffee. I hope you've got your cup of coffee. And we'll chat with Father Malusi and get to know him a little bit better. It's been a bit difficult for him settling in, as you know, because last week he was in hospital with sort of high blood sugar levels. So the doctors have sorted him out, and he's now back here with us with all sorts of injections and horrible things. But he's feeling much better. So it's really good for us to have him with us, and this is an opportunity now to start to get to know him a little bit better. Of course, you'll get to know him better over time when you get to interact with him personally. But I thought this might be an opportunity to get to know sort of basic things, so that when you do see him, you've got a bit of a sense of who he is. So welcome, Father Malusi.
Thank you so much,
to coffee
Father.
or tea with Father Brett. Nice to have you with
Hello,
us.
everyone.
Good. So, Father Malusi, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born and where you live and your family and that sort of thing.
Okay. I was actually born in Pietermaritzburg.
Oh, like me. Only the best people are born in Maritzburg. There you go. He's already a good priest.
There you are. I was born in Pietermaritzburg, but I grew up in Durban. I grew up with my grandparents.
Okay.
It's only later that I lived with my mother and father, because they were left up in Pietermaritzburg. So I grew up with my grandparents in a place called Kwamashu. I did my primary school in Barracuda Primary in Newlands East. Secondary school, I came to Sports Estate in Overport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's where I did my
So
high school.
not far from here, eh?
It's just up the road.
Yeah,
from
so
here.
you are definitely a homeboy, eh?
Definitely.
And homie, yeah. There you go.
And then immediately after high school, then I joined Seminary. I went to St. Ambrose Formation House, and then that's when I took up my studies.
Okay.
I come from a very small family. Currently, it's just my mother and my two brothers. My father passed away about 10 years ago now.
Okay.
So I come from a very small but religious family.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Are your brothers older than you or younger?
I'm the eldest.
You the eldest.
I'm the eldest.
He's
Yes.
very much like me, hey? I'm the oldest of three as well.
Yeah.
But I've got a sister.
That's all it. I've always wanted to have a sister.
Oh, be careful, Father. They're dangerous, eh? They're
I've
dangerous.
always wanted a sister, but yes, it was. We grew up simple life, but always Christ was the center. I think that was also what drove me to eventually become a priest.
Okay,
Yes.
brilliant. So, what did you like the most in the seminary? Seminary is a difficult time, isn't it? It's a bit of an artificial time, because you're closed in with all these men studying theology and things.
Yes.
And it can be really difficult. Well, I found it difficult, and I think lots of people in many ways find it difficult. But there's also lots of good stuff that happens at the seminary. What was the stuff you liked the most in the seminary?
I think the highlight for me with the seminary was interacting with people who come from all walks of life. Us people from Durban especially were told that we keep it here. We don't want to go out and
The Zulus, eh? The Zulus.
So it was interesting. I even managed to learn a new language.
Oh, okay.
I speak Sotho relatively fluently.
Yeah.
So I think that was the highlight, meeting people from different walks of life, how they experience God for them, how life is for them, and how they see the world. I think those were the highlights for me.
Okay, good. Excellent. So, you're here at St. Joseph's now. You've only been a priest for a little time, a year and a bit.
Yeah.
What happened immediately after ordination?
So I think 3 weeks after we ordained, we went into the first lockdown. So I didn't have Easter, my first day of priesthood.
Well, you had it, but just without other people.
Without the people,
yeah, it was terrible, wasn't it?
It was kind of difficult. But I suppose it was also a lesson. It was also a lesson that people there, people not there, somehow the mission has to go on. So it was kind of difficult celebrating your Easter Sunday, your vigil on your own. But as time went on, things got a bit better. From where I was working,
you were in Greytown.
I was in Greytown. That's correct. The funerals were what were the most difficult. The virus really had it almost finished the people there. So that was kind of a difficult beginning to the ministry. But slowly but surely things are getting better.
Yeah, it must have been really difficult. I think it was difficult for everyone, but for a new priest trying to find his way in new sort of environments and things, it must have been difficult.
It was a bit of a challenge. Yes, it was a bit of a challenge.
And unfortunately, I think the challenge is going to continue for a while.
Yes.
I think if they taught you anything in the seminary, we don't know about that, we'll have to wait and see, but if they taught you anything in the seminary, a lot of that teaching certainly is going to be challenged a great deal by the COVID pandemic and what happens in the church going forward.
True. And we're going to have to obviously adapt to that as well. True.
Absolutely. Good. So you're here now, you're sort of settling in, you're getting to know me, you're getting to know Father Pierre. He's surviving, but he is surviving. And you're getting there, and you're getting to know the staff in the parish and things, and you'll get to know more and more of the people. What is the area of ministry that you're looking forward to the most, that you're quite excited about?
Okay. Well, primarily, I'm looking forward to working with you. I believe I'm going to learn a lot.
Well, I hope so.
I believe I'm going to learn a lot. But the ministry that I'm most interested in is the RCIA, for one reason. When you make a conscious decision of joining the church, some of us were baptized as infants, so when we realized it, we're already inside. But people in this day and age who still make a conscious decision of saying, I want to be a Catholic, those people somehow inspire me. And when they do get into the church, at least most of them, they become much more stronger than us who were born Catholic. So I always enjoy working with those people. So that is what I primarily look forward to working with. And secondly, I also enjoy working with the elderly. The elderly in a way, because they challenge my faith. They might be sick, they might be having that, they might be having that, but there's always a smile on their face, and that belief in Jesus Christ that some of us maybe might lose if we're really sick, or if we find we are housebound on our own.
Excellent. Good. I agree with Father Malusi. I think that whole concept of RCIA is incredibly uplifting to see adult men and women in this day and age give themselves to Jesus, give themselves to the church. It's what we're all about, not only us as priests. It's all about our task to get more and more people to get to know Jesus, to love Jesus, and to commit themselves to the church. So it should be, the RCIA should be the thing that inspires all of us. It should be the thing that excites all of us. The more people we can see year after year coming into the church and being active, the more our own faith should be nourished and strengthened, and we should be joyful about that. So good, that's excellent. So there's a little bit about Father Malusi. I'm glad you joined us, Father. Thanks for joining us. I'm sure he will be happy here. I'm sure he will learn a lot. And it's our task, all of our task, to help him to grow into his priesthood so that he can be truly an effective and happy minister of the church, but also a great proclaimer of the gospel. And so we hope and pray that you will be happy here and that you will be very, very, very busy with all sorts of things for God's people.
Definitely.
Good.
Thank you so much, Father.
Pleasure. Thanks very much. Thanks very much, everybody. We look forward to seeing you at Mass this weekend, either in person or online. And then we've got something exciting for next Friday evening. We thought we would have a social, but a COVID social. So we're going to have a get-together listening to music outside the church. You need to book your tables, so there won't be any social interacting. We will keep social distance, so you'll just be at the tables with people that you are safe with, your family or your immediate friends and things that you are interacting with. There won't be meeting and mingling with one another at different tables, which is a bit sad, but at least we get to come together, sort of. Outside, it should be safe. We're going to listen to music. Hopefully the stars will be shining, and it will be a really happy time just to be with others in some way. So look out for the notices about that. There's information about that, and we hope you'll be able to join us so that we can start to have some sense of being a community, our theme for this Sunday and the coming week. We are God's community, we are God's people, and we need to work at belonging and creating that sense of community. So I hope you'll be along on next Friday evening. Have a look out for the information about that. Okay, everyone, nice to see you. Thanks, Father Malusi, for being with us. God bless and have a good week. Cheers then.